When people think of renewable energy, wind and solar are the names that come to mind first. Solar and wind energy are clean, renewable energy sources that convert energy into electricity and feed it into the grid, the network of transmission lines that transport energy from production sites, like solar farms or nuclear power plants, to consumption sites, like homes and offices.
On a solar farm, the solar panels convert large amounts of the sun's energy into electricity, which then gets sent to a main inverter. After that, a substation reduces the high-voltage electricity to something that the grid can manage.
However, a lot of solar systems are residential. The main difference between solar farms and residential solar systems is that residential solar systems don't send their electricity directly to the grid, they feed it into an attached electrical system. Solar panels that produce electricity are called photovoltaic, or PV for short, and those that produce hot water are called solar thermal.
There are a lot of other benefits to getting your electricity from solar panels. If you're looking into installing your own solar panel, a term that will come up is payback. Since solar panels will generate electricity that would otherwise be taken from the grid and therefore paid for, they save money and eventually will save the money that they were worth. Installing solar panels also increases home value while decreasing your carbon footprint. Not only this, but net metering introduces another financial upside. Net metering is a system that allows surplus energy generated by on-site power sources, such as solar panels, to be sold to the grid and further reduce your electricity bill.
So community solar is a concept where a lot of different people own a system that's located in a very good solar location. And it provides an opportunity for people who may not have good exposure on their roofs or in their yard to still make use of solar energy.
A major benefit of small-scale renewables is their ability to feed into microgrids, small-scale grids that are powered locally and can function independently from the macro grid, usually just called the grid. By producing and distributing power this way, microgrids save energy and money. The macro grid has a lot of issues that can be solved by using microgrids, such as outages that are easily caused by storms and other disruptions and that cost the government billions of dollars per year. Isolating the power production and distribution process allows places to customize their production to fit demand, which is much more efficient than the centralized grid's method of creating as much electricity as possible and allowing whatever is unused to go to waste. Wind energy is a very low-cost power source that turns the kinetic energy of wind into electricity. Most wind turbines have blades that are rotated by the wind and turn a generator, making electricity. The electricity is very high in voltage, so it gets sent to a substation before being distributed by the grid. However, not all wind turbines use blades. The Safonian is a new kind of wind turbine that has yet to reach the market. The new design allows the Safonian to generate electricity at almost 90% efficiency, as opposed to the 40% average efficiency that regular turbines have.
The Safonian is a good example of advancements in technology that allow renewables to be a more reasonable approach to energy in our society. Because of the high costs of blades and other materials that aren't necessary for the Safonian's design, the energy it produces will cost much less. In fact, the price of wind energy and solar energy has been dropping due to advancements in technology and financial benefits for a long time. For example, people with personal solar panels can often save money on their taxes because of government incentives for clean energy. Since 1976, when each watt was around $100, the cost of PV solar power has been dropping steadily. In just 4 years, from 2008 to 2012, prices went from $4 per watt to only 70 cents, and they're continuing to plummet. Wind energy is becoming less and less expensive as well, but not quite as quickly as solar. In the 28 years between 1984 and 2012, price per megawatt has gone from roughly $400 to almost $70. Wind and solar energy isn't a futuristic dream either. In fact, there are many towns that are already operating largely on wind, solar, or a combination of the two. These towns often have benefits such as a large job market, reduced energy costs, a small carbon footprint, and an economy that doesn't have to worry about energy.
The town of Freiburg is sort of like a solar dream. In this German town, people earn money by selling their personally generated electricity back to the grid. There are laws that dictate how much energy new houses are allowed to waste, and the town produces 10 million kilowatts per year from solar panels. Freiburg is known as one of the sunniest cities in Germany, with over 1,800 hours of sunshine annually. But compared with the 2,292 hours that we get in Vermont, this isn't much.
Another town benefiting from renewable energy is Samsø, Denmark. An island twice the size of Manhattan, it's able to completely power itself and 20% of Denmark with its 21 wind turbines, both onshore and off. Although it costs millions of dollars to install the turbines, sales of electricity are bringing in $80 million annually, and farmers who own turbines can make up to $4,000 per day. Interestingly, SAMSO has a lower average wind speed than we do here in Brattleboro. While we're getting winds of roughly 21.2 miles per hour, SAMSO's average wind speed is around 16 miles per hour. However, we experience very low wind speeds for 5 months of the year, making it impractical to rely entirely on wind power. This is a good example of why it's important to diversify energy sources, particularly when using renewables. Things like daylight hours and wind speeds change quite a bit, unlike coal plants that are consistently managing coal use. A diverse group of energy sources leads to a more predictable and reliable one. After looking at these towns that are benefiting so much from wind and solar energy, we decided to go to our friend Alex Wilson over in Dummerston to learn about clean energy in Brattleboro.
So I'm Alex Wilson. I've been a resident of Dummerston for 32 years. I'm on the Dummerston Energy Committee. I write about renewable energy, energy efficiency, building technology, and environmental issues. Have for a long time.
So how would you suggest that community members get involved?
Well, a good approach would be to contact Integrated Solar or contract Sovereign, another company that does community systems, and find out if they have any systems in the works and how they can sign up.
And how do you think the shift to cleaner energy Brattleboro can play out over the next few decades?
Well, statewide, there's an energy plan in place that calls for a pretty aggressive goal for converting the state to renewable energy sources. In Brattleboro, I think we're ahead of the curve. Brattleboro has a very active energy committee. They've been working with the school system to provide solar power for the Brattleboro schools. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I mean, it's a big challenge to talk about that large percentage of a community's energy needs met through renewables. But I think it's possible, and certainly I'm working toward that, and a lot of people in the community are working toward it.